Today we're gonna talk about storytelling in your image or in your artwork, I should say. So let's say you have your character here. You have designed it, you feel really great about it, this is a good character, here's the pose it's standing in. It all feels really great. Like this. Like, yes, this is my really cool character. And it probably is. Alright? Maybe this is the greatest character ever created. Alright? But sometimes when you do a drawing of a character, perhaps just like this, it just feels stale. It doesn't have any life to it. It just kind of like, oh, okay, it's a pose. We've seen that 100 times. So what about it? What's so special about this character? Why should I care? And why should I be interested in the same pose I probably have seen, a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 times? Well, it's because there's no storytelling in this image. So no story. Or I should say, nothing happening. I'm just gonna ski. Nothing happening. Yeah. So there's nothing happening in this image. So let's say something should happen. Let's say, okay, this is a normal character perhaps. This is not a fantasy, this is not an action figure or anything like that. It's just a normal guy. Perhaps he's a comedic, romance kind of character, okay? Well, in that case, maybe you should show him in a situation that he would probably be in. So for instance, let's go and make him look a little bit more interesting. Maybe he's found a girl that he's really like. So maybe he's like, oh, I'm so in love. I have found my perfect woman, or perhaps perfect guy. I don't know. So maybe he sees the girl, person, guy for the first time, and perhaps he's kind of like hiding because he doesn't want the character to see him. So instantly we have a more of a story, because now we can see the character, acting and being the character, and it gets us more interested in perhaps what's happening in the image, because okay, so he's shy, maybe he's gonna ask the person out, or maybe he's a creep, maybe he's stalking this poor person, senpai noticed me, but instantly we have story, or something is happening in the image, and that could for most part it actually makes the image more interesting. And this is something that I myself I am very bad at this, because I usually do the no story, nothing's happening, because usually I'm just trying, designing characters and stuff like that. And most of my work, my commissions, is usually, okay, I want a kind of feeling from just the character. So then you get no story. But sometimes you have to have story, because that makes the image more interesting. For instance, look at this. This is a character I made. Nothing much is happening in the background, but we can see that something is happening. Something is happening with this book. Is it magic powers? Is she making the magic? But something is happening. She is kind of surprised at the situation. You can see the hair flowing, and you get this bright light coming from the book as she's holding her hands out. This is something that's happening in the image, instead of just having the character, sit or, just be the character. Because now something is happening. Now we can try to make more understanding of it. Same thing here. This is an old one, a very old artwork I did of if Zelda was the character in the first Zelda game. Instead of Link, it was Zelda. So it's designed after that. But as you can see, I have put her, instead of just, with the shield and being badass with the sword, I have put her in a peril. I have put her in a situation where there's fire, the night sky looks gloom, and you can see a little bit of the castle in the background as she's holding her sword and swinging into action. Something is happening in this image. I'm trying to give you a sense of that she's in a battle, but I'm not showing you with who or why she's in the battle, or what is the castle. Is this Hyrule Castle, or is it something else perhaps? Why is there fire? Is something gone wrong, or is it just someone's power and stuff like that? And the same thing goes with just, if you just have the character, you can still make something happening. Here's just a sketch, an old comic kind of sketch, just to see if it works. And here's someone punching someone in the stomach very hard. And you have the BAM kind of scribbled in the background. But there's something happening in the image. So you can see the character and still have the motion of something. It's kind of like you take something out of a comic panel or maybe a frame of the movie to show. And that's what I meant by, you know, no story, nothing's happening, and story happening. Because sometimes no story, nothing's happening is good for perhaps, you know, if you want to know how the character is gonna look and everything like that. But you also have to have the both of them. So you know how the character looks in the no story, nothing's happening part, but what does the character look in motion, in situations, and how does it act? How does it handle itself in the real world? The same goes with everything. It could be, okay, let's say this character is supposed to be out drinking with the friends. Okay, then once again, you can push it and you have people at a table perhaps, and you have the character holding the glass high because they're drinking. It's fun. They're having fun. And maybe we have friends here that also is drinking. And then you can create more characters that, you know, fill out the world that your character lives in. Maybe there's character in the background like, whoa! Maybe they have done something good at job or anything, something like that. So you can see, you can just fill more and more, because this is good, but it can be better if you put some story, something's happening in the image. It makes the characters look a little bit more alive, and it looks like they're in their own world. And it introduces also the viewer to more than just, okay, here's a cool character to design. Instead, you're introducing them to the world and the people of the character. So it's just a small tip, and myself is guilty of not doing it, so I'm not gonna, you know, blame anyone, but it is something that I'm working on really hard, to put characters in situations rather than just doing the typical just standing there looking cool or, you know, like that, because that's somewhere you have to begin with, and then you can put them in situations. But it's always a good thing to have something happening in the image. It also makes it easier to perhaps get the feeling of the character correctly if you can't do it while they're standing still. So don't be afraid of putting something happening. If you probably have a lot of background on the character already, if you have designed it and, you know, doing it a specific way. So put it in a story or something's happening in the image. It will always help you out. So I hope you have learned something of this, and let me know in the comment section below if there's anything you need help with, or if there's something that you're thinking about or something that you need help with. I will try to make a video for you, and I will see you in the next tutorial video. Bye!